in addition of like terms with exponents. Right now, like terms, you have to have the same variables, but they have to be raised to the same power or they're not like terms. Okay, what does 3 to the 5th mean? Yeah, it means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So however many times it's a factor, that's what goes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if I tell you something like this, you have x to the 5th, which means you have 5 x's. You have x to the 7th. And you have x squared. What's that going to give you? X to the 14th power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. X to the 14th power. What does that mean? The same thing as? Add those numbers right there. If you add those numbers, that's what's going to give you that right there. So if I look at the next one, this is equal to p to the 17. You add 5 and 12 together, and that gives you 17. So if you multiply these bases, you add the exponents. So the product rule for exponents, sometimes you see it like this. X to the a times x to the d times x to the d says that your answer is x to the a plus d plus d. Get it? Add the exponents. So you add the exponents if this is the same value, x and x or y and y, something like that. Okay, this one. So you look at the x's and you look at the y's. Add the exponents. So you get x to the 2 plus 5 and y to the 2 plus 3, which means you end up with x to the 7th, y to the 5th, and there's your simplified answer. Good. Just add the exponents of like bases. Variables are the same. So if you look here, you have your x, you have your y's, you have the so you get x to the 2 plus 3, y to the 3 plus 2, and m to the 5th. So if you had the exponents, you would have x to the 5, y to the 3 plus 2, 5, and m to the 5th. There's the answer. So you went x, y, and m. Oh, look at my desk. So you went x, y, and m to the power once. Only one of them to occur once. If there's no number up here, it's understood to be 1. So if we look at this example, you have to do this. This is a 1 there and a 1 there. So if you look at the x, 1 plus 3 is 4, y to the 1 plus 2, third. Make sure if there's nothing there, you put them as 1s. So this one, m's, p, x. This is a 1 and a 1. So I look at the m's. add. 3 plus 2 is 5. P to the 6th, x to the 4th. There's your simplified answer. So here we're going to add. Here you add the exponents. Add the exponents. Okay. Simplify by adding like terms. Like terms have the same variable raised to the same power. That's what like terms are. So you have to have the same letter, the same variable raised to the same power. And it has to be that way for all of them. So if I look at the first one, you have x squared. This one can't be a like term because x is not to the second power. This has x squared, but that does not. So let's look at the next values. You have a y to the first, y to the first, p to the 5th, p to the 5th. So this term right here is the same as that term. X to the first, x to the first, y squared, y squared, p to the 5th, p to the 5th. So these two are like terms. Now when you work with like terms, this is understood to be a 1 right here. All you're going to do is you're going to take 1 plus 3, which is 4. Keep those letters the same. Simplify the next part. 2 minus 7. What is positive 2 and negative 7? Negative 5. Keep the letters the same. The order of the letters, they're in a different order, that's okay. Just they have to be the same to the same power. This is your simplified answer. Now, can I tell you what some of you are going to do wrong? No? Yes, yes, you're going to add exponents. But what I was thinking of is you put this blue down, and the next sign you see is positive, so you put a positive there. This sign right here is not the same as the next sign you see. It's what you get when you combine the coefficients. Okay? And yes, you are correct. The second mistake people make is they try to write this as x to the 4th, y to the 2nd, p to the 10th. Don't do that. You keep those the same. Your last name stays the same. Okay? Last name stays the same. So this one, we want to look at like terms. M to the 3rd, m to the 3rd, m to the 3rd, m to the 3rd. So far they all look the same. X, x, x to the 1st. What about this one? Oh, that's an x squared. It's different. So that means right now, since that is x squared, this is not a like term. Can't be the same. Then you have y, whoops, wrong color. Then you have y squared, y squared, y squared, p to the 1st, p to the 1st, p to the 1st. So all three of these are like terms. This one is different. That one is different because it's y to the 1st instead of y squared. That's the only reason that that one is different. So to come up with your answer, you have to take 2 plus 3 minus 10. What does that give you? Negative 5. Does it matter what order I put those letters? No. I need m to what power? The third. X to the first. Y squared in p. Then I have this little number left over there. And there's your answer. Okay? Try this one. Okay, we look at it, and what we have, x squared y, x squared y, x squared y. This is a 1. So you need to take 2 plus 3 minus 1. What does that give you? 4. So you should have 4 x squared y. That's the same as 4y x squared. Either one okay. This is a 1. This is x squared y squared, x squared y squared. So we have 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. X squared y squared. You could have it as y squared x squared. Same. It's the same. What about this? Is this the same? Yeah, this is okay as well. Just this sign, the negative has to go with the 3, and the 4 has to be positive. Simplify. Add your exponents, x to the 8th, y to the 6th. Good? Let's try this one. Simplify. Make sure you realize that these are 1s right here. And then add your exponents. So I have those 3, these 2, and those 2. So your answer, x to the 11th, y to the 7th, m to the 2nd. Add like terms. How many terms are there? There's 4 to begin with. The first term, x squared y cubed. Are there any other x squared y cubed? Right here, right? Then we have xy, xy. So we take 2 minus 8. What does that give you? Negative 6. X squared, y cubed. Then we take, this is understood to be a 1, so you take 1 minus 5, which is negative 4. Keep the letters the same. It's like a same last name. Question? Did you miscopy?
No, I just said put the 1
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Same
thing. Oh, you did what you said somebody would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it.
This one. So with the y being to the 6 instead of the x, it makes it different than those blue terms. And this term is different. So your answer should have 3 terms. This is a 1, this is a 1. So you're going to take 1 plus 1, which is 2. And then you just keep the rest the same. But I can tell you somebody's going to make a mistake because they're going to think that the blue and the red are the same.
I didn't do that.
Oh, good.
But I added.
Again? I see that a lot. Are we okay with this one? Okay. What I need you to do is I need you to turn to page 93. One through 11. Thank you, Will.